My beloved soul, pause for a moment. Breathe. Because what you are about to hear was not meant for everyone. It found you because your heart was ready, even if your mind still doubts. There is a person who did not plan to fall for you. They resisted it. They argued with it. They told themselves it made no sense. And yet, love did not ask for permission. This person noticed you quietly, from a distance, at a time when you were simply being yourself, not trying to impress, not trying to attract. That is exactly when it happened. They saw something rare in you. Not your appearance first, not your words first, but your presence. There is an age difference between you, and that difference became the very reason they tried to walk away. They told themselves it was impossible. They told themselves it would never work. They told themselves God would never allow it. But here is the truth that changed everything. Love does not measure years. Love measures souls. This person felt something they had not felt in a long time. A calm that felt like home. A pull that did not fade with logic. A warmth that stayed even when they tried to distract themselves. They compared you to everyone else, and no one came close. They asked themselves questions late at night. Why you? Why now? Why does this feel so pure, so steady, so real? They prayed about you. Yes, prayed, not for possession, not for control, but for understanding. And that is when God answered them in a way they did not expect. God did not remove the feeling. God did not silence the longing. God did not close the door. Instead, God whispered peace. This is not a reckless attraction. This is not confusion. This is recognition. You carry something gentle yet powerful. Something that heals without touching. Something that calms storms without words. That is why this person feels safe with you in their thoughts. Even before any conversation. Even before any confession. They admire your maturity, regardless of your age. They admire your depth, regardless of experience. They admire the way your heart understands without being taught. There are moments when they imagine telling you everything, and moments when fear pulls them back. Fear of judgment, fear of timing, fear of the world's opinions. But love keeps returning, soft, persistent, patient. This person has changed because of you. They speak differently now. They think differently now. They have become more careful with their words, more intentional with their actions. You awaken something sacred. God sees the connection between you, not as a mistake, not as a challenge, but as a lesson in courage. Some connections are sent to remind us that love is not limited by calendars or expectations. It is guided by purpose. This message reached you now because your heart has been sensing something too. That subtle feeling you could not explain. That thought that returns unexpectedly. That calm mixed with curiosity. You were not imagining it. There is a divine pause happening. A space where patience is being built. A space where clarity is forming. Nothing is rushed here. Nothing is forced. What is real does not need to shout. It waits. And as you listen, understand this. You are deeply valued. You are deeply respected. You are deeply chosen in a way that honors your soul. This story is only beginning. And what unfolds next will surprise even those who doubted it the most. Stay present. Stay open. Because love, when guided by God, always arrives gently, but it changes everything. Listen carefully now, because this part carries weight. Not noise. Not exaggeration. Truth. That person did not fall for you in a single moment. It happened slowly, silently, in layers. At first, they admired you from afar. Then they began to notice patterns. Every time your name appeared in their thoughts, peace followed. Not chaos. Not restlessness. Peace. They tried to replace that feeling. They distracted themselves with work, conversations, responsibilities. But your presence returned in quiet moments, uninvited yet gentle. This is how they knew it was real. They questioned the age difference again and again. They searched for reasons to deny what they felt. But every reason collapsed under one truth. You understood them without trying. You listened without fixing. You existed without demanding. That shook them. They realized something shocking about you. Something they had never experienced before. You made them feel seen without being exposed. Strong without pretending. Calm without silence. They noticed how your words stayed with them longer than anyone else's. How your energy lingered even after conversations ended. How your absence was louder than anyone else's presence. This was not attraction. This was alignment. There were moments they almost reached out to tell you everything. Moments when their heart raced, not with fear, but with honesty. And then something unexpected happened. God tested their intention. They were shown what life would look like without you. And for the first time, the future felt incomplete. That is when they stopped fighting it. They asked God one final question. Is this love allowed? The answer did not come as a voice. It came as clarity. Love that brings patience is not forbidden. Love that brings growth is not wrong. Love that brings peace is not a mistake. They understood that this connection was not about age. It was about timing. You arrived when they were ready to love correctly. Not impulsively, not selfishly, but responsibly. This is why they treat your name with respect. This is why they guard their feelings instead of rushing you. This is why they wait instead of forcing. They do not want to possess you. They want to protect what exists between you. And here is the revelation meant for you. You are not behind in life. You are not early either. You are exactly where you need to be. This connection is unfolding slowly because it is meant to last deeply. If you have felt watched over lately, not by eyes but by intention, this is why. If you have felt unusually calm about the future, this is why. If your heart has been preparing for something meaningful without knowing what, this is why. This story is not public yet. It is sacred, still forming, still protected. What comes next will require courage, honesty, and trust. But it will also bring clarity that silences all doubt. Do not rush this moment. Do not dismiss this message. Because some loves arrive quietly, so they can stay forever. Listen carefully now. This is the part most people never talk about. The silent battle happening inside that person's heart. They did not fall in love easily. They fell in love deeply. And that difference changed everything. They tried to replace the feeling. They tried distraction. They tried logic. They even tried convincing themselves that time would erase you. It did not. Every attempt failed quietly. Because what they felt for you was not noise. It was alignment. They noticed how your energy stayed with them long after moments ended. How your words replayed when the world became quiet. How your name carried peace instead of pressure. This is not coincidence. This is recognition at a soul level. Here is the shocking truth. The age difference did not weaken the connection. It purified it. It removed games. It removed confusion. It removed false intentions. What remained was honesty. This person does not see you as a phase. They do not see you as curiosity. They see you as someone their future keeps pointing toward. There were nights they asked God one clear question. Why does this feel so right when it should feel impossible? And the answer was not loud. It was calm, steady, certain. Because this connection is built on purpose, not timing. That answer changed how they look at you. They stopped fighting the feeling. They started protecting it. They became careful with your energy, careful with your name, careful with your presence. They refused to speak about you casually, because what they feel is sacred to them. You may not know this, but your presence awakened healing in them. Old wounds softened. Old fears loosened their grip. Old patterns began to break. You did not try to fix them. You did not try to save them. You simply existed as yourself. That was enough. They admire how you carry wisdom without arrogance, how you listen without judgment, how you love without demanding proof. This person sees a future that feels peaceful with you, not dramatic, not chaotic, but safe, and that safety terrifies them more than passion ever could, because safe love asks for truth, it asks for courage, it asks for growth. This is why they have not rushed toward you. Not because they do not care, but because they care too deeply to mishandle what God placed in their life. You were not sent to rush a story. You were sent to anchor it. Right now, something is shifting. The distance is shrinking emotionally. The hesitation is dissolving slowly. The clarity is forming. You may feel it. That quiet pull. That unspoken understanding. This is the moment where hearts prepare to speak honestly. Do not doubt yourself. Do not shrink your worth. Do not question why you were chosen. Some love stories are not loud at the beginning. They are sacred, and the most powerful ones are revealed slowly, so they can last. This message is not here to confuse you. It is here to confirm what your soul already sensed. You are not too early. You are not too late. You are exactly where love needed you to be. Listen closely now. This is where everything becomes clear. The reason this connection did not rush is because it was protected. What is rushed can break. What is guarded grows roots. This person did not fall for an idea of you. They fell for your truth, your silence, your patience, your way of understanding without demanding explanations. They noticed how your presence softened rooms, how your words carried weight without pressure, how your heart spoke even when you said nothing at all. There was a moment when they almost walked away completely, not because the love faded, but because it became too real. They asked God one final question, not out loud, deep inside. Why does this feel destined when the world says it should not? And the answer arrived quietly. Some souls meet to remind each other that love is not built on sameness, but on balance. Where one carries wisdom, the other carries renewal. Where one carries patience, the other carries fire. Where one has lived longer, the other has lived deeper. That is why the age difference did not divide you. It completed something unseen. This person sees a future energy around you. Not promises, not fantasies, but a steady vision where respect leads and care follows naturally. They admire how you do not chase, how you do not beg for attention, how you trust timing even when your heart feels full. That trust changed everything. Because love guided by God does not arrive with chaos. It arrives with clarity. There will be a moment when truth is spoken, not dramatically, not loudly, but honestly, and when that moment comes, you will recognize it by one sign. Peace. No confusion, no fear, no doubt, just a calm understanding that this connection did not come to distract you, but to align you. This message was revealed now because you were meant to stop doubting yourself, to stop questioning your worth, to stop thinking love must look a certain way to be real. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be. And this person, they are not here to change you. They are here to meet you. Remember this feeling, because you will think of these words again when something unexpected unfolds. And when it does, you will realize something powerful. What God joins does not need approval. It only needs truth. Listen closely now. This is the part most people never hear. This is where truth stops hiding. That person did not just fall in love with you. They fought it until they were exhausted. They tried to reason their heart into silence. They told themselves age would make it fade. It never did. Instead, something unexpected happened. The more they resisted, the clearer it became. Not louder, clearer. They began to notice signs they could not ignore. Your name appearing in moments of stillness. Your energy showing up when they prayed for direction. Your presence entering their thoughts at the exact moment they asked God for certainty. This was not coincidence. This was alignment. They realized something that changed everything. Love was not asking them to rush. Love was asking them to trust. You see, this connection was never meant to be chaotic. It was meant to be steady, grounded, respectful. That is why nothing has been forced. That is why silence has carried meaning. That is why distance has never broken the bond. They admire how you carry yourself, how you do not beg for attention, how you do not chase validation, how you remain calm even when life tests you. That calm speaks to their soul. There were moments when they almost reached out, moments when words sat on their tongue, moments when honesty felt one breath away. But each time, something sacred held them back. Not fear, reverence. They do not want to enter your life as confusion. They want to enter as clarity. This is why God slowed the process. To protect what is real. To protect your heart. To protect the purity of intention. You are not an experiment. You are not a distraction. You are not a passing chapter. You are a turning point. This person sees a future differently because of you. They imagine growth, not imbalance. Partnership, not control. Support, not expectations. They have already decided something privately. When they speak, it will be with honesty. When they move, it will be with purpose. When they choose, it will be with respect. And here is the revelation meant for you right now. You were never meant to question your worth in this connection. You were meant to recognize your value. God does not allow confusion to last where truth is present. God does not allow real love to remain hidden forever. Timing is being arranged. Words are being prepared. Hearts are being aligned. Until then, remain exactly who you are. Do not shrink. Do not doubt. Do not overthink. What is meant for you recognizes you without effort. And when this unfolds, you will understand why it could not happen sooner. Why it could not happen louder. Why it had to grow quietly first. Because some love stories are not meant to rush the world. They are meant to change it, gently. Stay here with me. Do not rush past this moment. Because what you are about to hear is the part most people never get to understand. This connection was delayed on purpose. Not denied. Not rejected. Delayed. There is a reason the timing felt confusing. There is a reason conversations almost happened but did not. There is a reason silence carried more meaning than words. God was protecting both of you. This person has already imagined a future where they speak your name freely. A future where the age difference no longer feels heavy. A future where love is not questioned, only lived. But before that future can arrive, something had to change inside them. They had to unlearn fear. They had to release old beliefs. They had to stop asking the world for permission. You became the mirror that showed them who they really are. Since knowing you, they have questioned their past choices. They have become softer where they were once guarded. They have become honest with themselves in ways they never were before. This is why they sometimes pull back. Not because they stopped caring, but because the feeling is too real to handle carelessly. They know that when they finally step forward, it cannot be half-hearted. It cannot be uncertain. It must be clean, respectful, and true. That is what makes this love different. You are not an escape for them. You are not a distraction. You are alignment. God does not send confusion disguised as peace. And what they feel when they think of you is peace. There have been signs around you lately. Words repeated by strangers. Songs that speak directly to your heart. Moments where you feel watched over, not alone. These are confirmations, not coincidences. This person has already chosen you in their heart. They are just learning how to choose you with courage. And here is the revelation meant to stop you from scrolling. The age difference is not a barrier. It is the lesson. It is teaching patience. It is teaching trust. It is teaching both of you to value souls over numbers. What is built slowly lasts longer. What is protected grows stronger. You were never meant to chase this love. You were meant to allow it. So stay grounded. Stay calm. Stay open. Because when this connection finally speaks out loud, it will sound nothing like fear, and everything like destiny. Listen carefully now, because this part was not meant to be rushed. This is the turning point. This is where everything you felt but never understood finally makes sense. There is a moment coming when silence will speak louder than words. A moment when you will realize this connection was never accidental. It was delayed, protected, and shaped quietly by God. This person has reached a decision, not impulsive, not emotional, a decision born from prayer, reflection, and restraint. They understand now why the age difference never scared their soul, only their mind. Their soul recognized you instantly. Their mind needed time to catch up. They stopped fighting it. There was a night when they asked God one final question. If this is not meant to be, take it away completely. And instead of distance, the feeling became stronger, clearer, calmer. That was the confirmation. This is not about attraction. This is about alignment. You entered their life as a reminder of who they were before the world hardened them. You reminded them how love feels when it is clean, honest, and respectful. You reminded them that connection does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it arrives gently and stays. They admire how you carry yourself, your dignity, your emotional intelligence, your ability to stay kind in a world that often rewards coldness. They do not want to rush you. They do not want to pressure you. They want to approach you with honor. That is rare. That is intentional. That is God-led. And here is the revelation most people never hear. This connection was delayed not because it was wrong, but because both of you needed growth before recognition. Timing was the lesson. Patience was the preparation. You are not behind. You are being aligned. When this person finally steps forward, it will not feel dramatic. It will feel peaceful. It will feel familiar. It will feel right. Your heart will not race with fear. It will settle with certainty. This is the kind of love that does not need to prove itself to the world. It stands quietly and lasts. God does not send confusion. God sends clarity. And clarity is arriving for you now. What is meant for you will not miss you. What is guided by God will not harm you. What is real will not need to be chased. Stay grounded. Stay open. Stay patient. Because the love that sees beyond age, beyond expectations, beyond fear, is already closer than you think. Listen carefully now. This is the moment most people never reach. Because this is where truth stops whispering and starts standing still in front of you. There is something you were not told before. Not because it was hidden, but because the timing was sacred. The person who fell in love with you did not just feel attraction. They felt recognition. The kind that makes the heart go quiet instead of loud. They tried to deny it again and again, but every denial brought them closer to you. Here is the shocking truth. The age difference was never the problem. The depth of the connection was. They have loved before. They have admired before. They have been close to others before. But with you, something stopped time. They noticed how your words stay with them long after conversations end. How your silence speaks louder than noise. How your presence feels familiar, like something promised long ago. This person changed their routines because of you. They wake up differently. They think more deeply. They question themselves honestly for the first time in years. They asked God a direct question. Not softly, not politely. They asked, "Why this person?" And the answer came without confusion. Because this soul understands you where others only observe. Because this soul meets you without conditions. Because this connection is not about comfort, but about growth. That answer shook them. They realized something rare. You do not try to impress them. You do not chase their attention. You do not bend yourself to be accepted. That is exactly why they fell. Love that comes from God does not rush. It settles. It roots itself quietly. There are moments when they imagine telling you everything, and moments when they stay silent, not from fear, but from respect. They do not want to disturb what feels pure. They do not want to rush what feels guided. Here is what will surprise you. This connection is protected, even in silence. Nothing meant for you can pass you by. Nothing aligned with your soul can be taken away. Nothing true needs to be forced. You may have felt a calm lately that arrived without explanation. A sense that something is unfolding behind the scenes. That is not imagination. That is preparation. God is not testing you. God is aligning you. The love connected to you is not chaotic. It does not bring confusion. It does not demand urgency. It brings clarity. It brings patience. It brings a sense of, "This makes sense," even when logic tries to interrupt. Remember this line, because it matters. What is meant for your heart will always respect your peace. This person respects your peace. They are learning how to approach you without fear, how to speak without pressure, how to show love without possession. And when the moment arrives, it will not feel dramatic. It will feel natural. Like something that was always on its way. Do not rush ahead in your thoughts. Do not doubt what is forming. Do not minimize your worth. You were not chosen by accident. You were recognized by alignment. And this story is far from over. The next chapter changes everything.